Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tales of Diademia, episode 3 for season 2. We're going to get started here shortly, but a slight recap, try to make this quick. Our heroes found themselves. I had to find this paper because it had all the names on the places that I wrote. Anyways, they were at Stag Forest Gate and what's it called? At the Winebrook Hollow Tavern. And essentially it got attacked by a Triperian Magitech armor robot thingy. Our crew found themselves almost, they weren't really perturbed by it. It was just more or less a hiccup in the day. They defeated it, and ultimately they killed the Eldritch Knight that was piloting it. They didn't question him, though, because he was dead. Anyways, they made their way to leave that Stag Forest Gate, went into the forest, met up with a contact that Fang was supposed to meet with, and it turns out the contact also works for Orgy. They sent him off to go investigate Vagrant City, and in the process, they all decided to, try and make their way as far away as possible from this area because other Triperian airships were showing up by the minute, and they didn't want any part of that. They ended up following Maka to Tahale, which is an elvish city that is covered in a veil of sorts, to where you cannot see it with the naked eye. You have to pretty much know how to get to this hidden city, or else you're just not going to find it. So they made it there. One of the elves, I think his name was Elisar or something like that, pretty much said that this is a sacred ground, pretty much no fighting, things of that nature. As long as they abide by this simple rule, they're pretty much guests. So Fang, Maka, Artis, Orgy, Dargo, Coffee, Mio, and what was Fang's guy's name? Whoever he is. His partner buddy all made their way into the city, and essentially they are now here just trying to figure out what their next course of action is. That being said, we open up with you all kind of getting situated in this elvish city. As we saw, Coffee and Fang ended up meeting Mei Li, who marks a, resemblance to her twin sister Hope, to which Fang kind of left Mei Li and Coffee to catch up, if you will. As you can see, we do not have Coffee here today, sadly. She is on vacation, which I hope she is enjoying. So we are going to kind of direct the story and fill on the back end when she's with us next week. Also, bonus, we're going to have a Tales of Diademia episode for the rest of the month, every Saturday going forward, just so you all mark that on your calendar. We started a little late today, not as late as we normally do, so that's a bonus. But that being said, feel free to come by next Saturday and the following Saturdays to see the shenanigans that will undoubtedly end up happening. Other than that, you are all in this very elegant elvish city. What would you like to do? Also, everybody but Dargo and Orgy are muted. And Artist. There we
go. What time is it?
So you can't really judge what time it is because the sky is obviously enchanted. It looks like it's nighttime, although you arrived kind of close to midday. But for clarity's sake, it is around 6 o'clock. However, looking up at the sky, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Artist is gonna try and find a nice restaurant to go eat at.
Okay. There's a lot of elvish food here. It's a little bit
Good
more
thing I'm an
exotic, a little
elf.
bit more. Well, yeah, you should probably be at home here, but I'm just saying, for the general sorts, if they wonder why it looks so fancy, it's probably because it's elvish food.
Man, I'm starving. I'm gonna go get some food.
Is anybody around artists during this time? Dargo's like,
They're all like 50 feet away.
Like,
Why is that guy
Nobody
talking to
but
himself?
me. I just saw this kid get chokeslammed by Fang. I don't want to hang out with.
that was like 3 episodes, I think, ago.
It was episode 1, so like 2
Two,
episodes
two.
ago. But
Okay.
however you want to rock
I hear-
the boat.
Well,
I
you
hear
know,
him
thank
muttering to himself, and I just kind of look over and shake my head like, ugh, pathetic.
Nice. Making.
he didn't see me like summon a dragon, did he?
Everyone saw
he
you
was-
summon a dragon, and everyone saw me frantically try and figure out how to use your dragon on your turn.
Oh.
But essentially, yes, everyone knows that you
Well,
can summon this.
I think he was a little distracted by being grappled by the thing, but
Sulk,
yeah, he
that's
did
his
all this.
name. Orgy's partner guy, Sulk. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, artist is going and eating.
Okay. What are the rest of y'all doing?
I'm gonna kind of just wander around this place and, casually collect some information.
Okay. Maka's probably familiar with the area, so she probably would like have ditched you all shortly after arriving, and kind of went about her way. The area itself, everyone's more or less friendly, so you don't have to worry about like threats. There's obviously people that look like they can, hold their own in a fight if a fight were to brew, but for the most part, everyone's just like peacefully going about their day, night, time. Also, Fang, you had left coffee. So did you make your way back to like where Dargo and the rest of them were, or?
I would have been making my way back and then found a tavern and then slipped inside.
Okay. And Dargo.
I went to find Fang.
Okay. Roll a perception check just to see how long it takes.
$12.
Nice. Doesn't take you too long of a period of time. Obviously this is new territory, so it's a little bit to get used to, but after you like maneuver your way through and kind of can judge like looks like they sell stuff at this area and they like feed themselves in this area, you kind of make your way to their equivalents of a tavern. You find Fang like sitting there, not really like he's off to himself, but he's not like purposely trying to make it seem like he isn't there in the place of all elves and stuff. He kind of sticks out like a sore thumb, more or less. But yeah, you find him.
So Fang is just sitting. Yeah, he's sitting there at the table, and he's just got a bottle in front of him and a glass.
Okay. I need to quit writing on this sheet. But anyway.
Dargo is going to go, he's order a drink, and he'll sit down next to him. Yes, Fang. So, what do you foresee us expecting next?
To expect next. You're just kind of playing with the glass in front of him. I wish I could tell you what we are going to be expecting next. But here's what I'm going to attempt to do. I'm going to try to get out of here. Move over to the city that is escaping me at the moment.
Vagrant.
It was Vagrant, right? That's where we were trying to head to? Okay. Kind of just place the glass. Vagrant, that city. And hopefully begin to gather a bit more intel on how we can take down that just lovely where? Okay. My notes are all over the goddamn place now. It wasn't Kane. Who was it?
Who are you trying to remember?
The guy who tried to murder the shit out of me.
Davik.
David. There it is. Where? Oh, because I was looking in the wrong category.
You were looking at allies?
I was scrolling up at the top under organizations because I thought I just put him in there as under bad guy, but
Davik Alsatian.
yeah. Sorry. And then we can kill Davik and I don't know, live happily ever after that.
I don't know if there really will be a happily ever after for people like us.
No, more than likely not. But again, who knows? I mean, I just saw a ghost, so
So one can always hope. It's good to have that.
well, you know the king's daughter. You know, Hope. She was adopted, and for a while, I assumed she was an only child due to her never saying anything about it. And yet, of all the gin joints and all the pocket dimensions, we bump in to her twin. Here. And I'm not entirely sure how to feel about it.
I imagine that brings up a lot of mixed feelings.
Yep. And hopefully we'll find the answer somewhere at the bottom of this. As he continues to pour himself another drink out of the bottle. Haven't found it yet, but still a little ways to go before we hit the bottom. Cheers, doggo. Raises a glass and
Tigers.
just kind of... By the way, what's the name of the bar we walked into?
The Secret Whisper. Writing that down.
Secret Whisper.
As Fang and Dargo are enjoying a drink, and Artis, you can see him like across the table, well, not the table, across the bar, drinking and eating food. Fang, as you're maneuvering through this city to try and find somebody of importance, you come across Elisar, the guy that kind of like the elvish guy that directed you into the city and kind of told you all to enjoy yourselves and have a merry way. So he walks up to you, Orgy, and Sulk. Excuse me, do you have a moment?
I suppose.
If it behooves you, Master Zorter would like to speak with you and your friends.
And who is Master Zoltaire?
He is the one in charge here.
Well, I guess since you say he's the one in charge, I suppose we can give him a moment of our time.
Yes, well, I shall let him know to be awaiting you all. He is And he kind of like points behind him at this like elvish building that's kind of set at the top of the city, and kind of like looks down. There's like waterfalls cascading off of it. It's pretty intense. You should be up there. Just whenever you have time. And he kind of like ushers himself away. Artist, your food has arrived, and it's exactly what you ordered.
Now that's service.
There's no spit in it. There's no.
Artist just starts eating after noticing a couple of exchanges throughout the bar. This is mighty tasty.
The barmaid looks at you. Excuse me, sir, are you a wizard?
Perhaps. Why do you ask?
The etchings around your outfit, it, has like a rune effect. I'm trying to study myself a bit of, magic. Perhaps you could teach me sometime.
I tend to be fairly busy, but I might be able to find some time.
Oh, that would be much appreciated. Just let me know if you need anything else. And she kind of like makes her way off and starts to like feel other people's drinks.
Artist gets up and kind of like intercepts her real quick to find like a time that she would want to be trained.
Well, I work most of the night, so if at all possible, maybe an early morning session?
Of course. Are there any training grounds?
Yes, we
Like,
have
okay.
a area. It's the only place that they really allow combat and variety of that sort. Should be safe to do it there.
Wonderful. Meet me there, let's say 9 o'clock next morning.
Sounds good. I shall meet you there.
Artist gives a nod and goes back to his table to eat.
From where they were, Fang and Dargo, you probably overheard him talking to this waitress. She comes over and, I'm sorry, did you two need anything to eat?
Fang kind of like just slowly kind of bobbing his head. I probably should. What's on the menu here?
Do you speak Elvish?
Do I speak Elvish? No.
Well, we have meat that we usually prepare from some of the local hunts. Do you like deer or?
That'll be fine. Deer and bread for me, and Dargo, I imagine the same.
Okay,
He's quite right. Meat is always good.
I shall let them know. And she makes her way off.
I'm slightly terrified for her. I've never actually seen artists teach anyone magic. I mean, to be frank, he was quite inept the last time that I knew him, and now he's conjuring fire dragons from that damned sword of his.
We should go watch in the morning. Maybe it'll be a nice spectacle.
Yeah, maybe we can help delay the body count. I mean, cheer him on.
Either one.
Either or. Oh, So we, kind of sit and drink and all that, and then once that's done, I imagine we're just gonna get up and kind of wander our way back to the inn.
Okay. There, Mio's like waiting in the lobby, and not too far after, Sulk and Orgy arrive.
Have you managed to kill anyone yet?
Not yet. Are you volunteering as tribute?
Not even on your best and my worst.
I like how Orgy and Fang have literally like just recently met.
It's just been nothing but dick measuring contest. It is all it's been since the start of.
What?
What? No way!
No. This is more like that bromance from Predator, We're gonna
You
lock
son
arms
of a
soon,
bitch.
see bulging muscles. Yeah, exactly.
What's the matter? Death got you pushing too many pencils?
Yeah, exactly. That's more where this is going. Gosh.
And then we're just gonna be casting spells or just destroying an entire area without asking questions about where the bad guy is or what it is that we're even shooting at.
Yeah.
Reloading multiple times.
Saying sweet one-liners, lit off some
Yeah.
steam, did it.
Stick around. All right.
Yeah.
Mio looks
Back
over at you, Fang. Have you seen Coffee recently?
Yes, she was in town speaking with, I believe, Mary Lee was her name.
Maylee?
Maylee? Yes, Maylee. Sorry, I've been a little, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like there's just reeks of whiskey on his breath. Just so like him standing is strictly because I don't even know. Swamp blood. I got nothing.
Oh god.
Why well, I assume she hasn't returned yet. Is that something we should be concerned with?
No, I just was gonna check to see if she wanted to do anything later. But if she's catching up with Maylee, I'll leave her to it.
Yes. Well, speaking of things that could be taken care of, apparently the big man around here who lives in that fancy building up high wants to have a word. So if you think you're, I don't know, able to walk, maybe in that direction.
Fang just kind of centers himself for a moment. Yeah, why not?
This person seems slightly more important, so maybe do remember their name.
We'll see, I guess, when we get up there. Where is Marcha? Has anybody seen her since we arrived?
No. She has a tendency to vanish, if you will.
Yeah. Hard to keep tabs on that one.
And that's not concerning for anyone here. Okay, we are just going to move on from that.
I mean, she shows up usually when you need her, so...
Usually when you need her? Is it
Well,
like she doesn't show up all the time when you need her? Or like...
I mean, to
She
be
shows up
fair,
other
she
times.
helped us get out of that shadow area with the goddess person. It was her, an artist, and the Birdman that escapes my name, or his name escapes me.
Ah, yes,
Yeah,
Birdman.
vaguely. I kind of more remember falling into darkness. But yes, sure. Been falling for 30 minutes.
Well, I guess we could go speak with the leader of this place. Get it over with. Make sure we're not stepping on anyone's toes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, ultimately, knowing our luck, Maka's probably already up there. They're probably cousins or something.
I mean, it's possible.
So
She did
let's-
lead us here. There's a good possibility
Yeah.
she knows this place way better than us.
exactly. So let's just get this over with.
All right. I guess we begin heading up towards the house on the hill.
Okay. It doesn't take you long. It's more or less just a 10-15 minute trek, probably a little bit longer to make sure Fang has time to recenter himself. You arrive, and the arches to it are like magnificent, pretty much as you would expect for a capital, like elvish building place that houses one of the highest people within this city to live. It's immaculate. Anyways, you arrive. There is kind of like a large opening area where you all kind of stand and wait. Shortly after, a young elf comes like down the cascading stairs, looking at you. Yes. You must be the new guests. I would assume. And he like looks at the non-elf people in your party, which is all of you currently. Yes, right this way. And he kind of like leads you up this cascading staircase. You'd think after a while there should probably be a quicker way to get up here because of so many stairs, but you subside from saying it as you finally make it to the top. You see as, sure enough, Maka is standing there, kind of in front of the person that you would not suspect to be the leader of this place. Zotair kind of readjusts himself and looks at you all. He is a very large centaur man. He takes a few steps towards you all as you're approaching him. Greetings, friends. Please. And he kind of gestures you all to come into his area.
Okay. Fang follows,
Okay.
or heads where it is gestured.
He brings you all into this area that has kind of like faux pas grass on the ground. There's different flowers and things of that sort growing. Fairy creatures you can assume are like dancing and frolicking all throughout the area. Has a very enchanty type feel to it, but from what you can tell, the city itself has grown this not quite forest, but like grassland terrain in this area, and they just kind of like built the building around it, if you will. My name is Zotair. Welcome to the city of Tahale. Might I have your names?
My name is Dargo.
Dargo.
Can I do a quick insight check on this guy to see like if he's like what kind of general vibe am I getting from this dude? Like if he's good, bad, otherwise.
Sure.
Eight.
General
Seems good to me.
me.
I'm Fang.
Fang.
I walk like there's like stuff like flowers and stuff growing around. You said,
Yeah.
So, like, I walk over to the nearest one and I bend down and pluck it. And I look at it for a moment and then I kind of just discard it. Someplace you have here.
Yes. Yes, it is. You must be Orgy, and Maka has told me about you.
Well, what can I say? Some of us, our reputations precede us. Others, and I look at Fang, merely just follow.
Don't stab him. Don't stab him. Don't stab him.
I understand that you all are at odds with the Triperian Empire at present.
In
That
one
would be
form
correct.
or another, yes.
Great. Well, if you all would allow, I would like to offer some assistance. Possible ways to gain a foot on this battlefield that is definitely brewing as we speak.
So, before we agree, I mean, ultimately, what's in it for you? And why? I mean, outside of the fact that you know one person in our party, should we be so keen on trusting you?
Trust is a very difficult thing to come by, especially in these times. I would not necessarily say you helping me would provide trust either way for either party. However, it would be beneficial for me if you could assist, as well as I think it would be beneficial for yourselves as well. It's
Well,
really up to
just
you.
forgive me, you just seem to have us at a bit of disadvantage. You know a lot more about us and our going-ons than we know about you. So what kind of benefits are you looking to gain from this situation?
Well,
What is it that drives you for this?
at present, many Uvain territories have been hit very harshly even, by Triperian forces. This is a war that has been on standstill for the most part. However, recent events have escalated it beyond my control. I have various forces spread throughout. Hopefully, with your assistance, I would be able to prevent Triperian from collecting more resources for their purposes. There are 3 different locations currently that are being attacked. If I could send some of you to assist them, that would help me. And if you are able to completely eradicate them, it will help you as far as allies, resources, and potential fortress grounds for you to call your own. I take it you do not have a place that you could call your own, if you will.
So we do all the work,
My forces will be assisting.
and you reap the benefits without being in harm's way.
Again, it's merely a placeholder. I will be doing these events regardless of you all participating or not. However, if you would like some possible foothold in this war, you're going to need someone's help. Preferably someone with power, such as myself. It's not like you're going to be able to take down an entire Triperian fleet on your own. Might help if you had some backup.
So, we help bolster your defenses, help push away Triperian. We then get to use that area as a staging ground going forward. Does that about sum it up?
More or less, I have no interest in keeping those areas once they are rid of Triperian forces. You can do it with them as you will, as well as any allies you are able to gain from them not being killed by Triperian.
Well,
I mean, what proof do you have that you stand to be in such a position that we're not going to just show up and still get decimated? I mean, I'm going to need to see what kind of force you're working with. Because right now, all I see and have seen is that you have this very peaceful, nice city that likes to basically be hidden away from everyone. Doesn't really strike me as a military power.
Well, we work as direct allies for Scion. Some of you may be familiar with the city. Some of you may not. Because of this, we have a bit more push and pull in certain ways than your average Uvain citizen. If you would like proof, I could do you better. I can show you.
Well, there we go.
He looks at you all, and he kind of like wavers his great axe a bit, and you see as ground that's probably not familiar to you yet appears kind of like holographically around the area that you all are standing about. This is free ground currently. Triperian is trying to attack us from the flank in order to push up to the northern west portions and meet in the middle. We are trying to make sure our defenses are not so easily overrun, basically. And he shows you like the mapping area of, I don't know if y'all have this on the chatty chat, but I'll put it there just in case. Chat file everyone in the end. There we go. In case y'all don't have that. But anyways, he kind of shows you what eventually would become Baston's Keep. However, what he focuses on is Fort Demon's Creek and an area in Vermont. Between the two, you see larger images open up, and in Fort Demon Creek, it's a large fort that is currently being attacked both by Triperian forces and being defended by Uvain forces within the fort itself. In Burman, there is a focused church that currently has numerous Magitech soldiers kind of trying to overrun the place, Eldritch Knights, things of that sort. Defending it. Or not defending it, trying to take it over. Between these two areas, as you can see, there is a definite pull, give, as you will. Fort Demon Creek is pretty heavily fortified fortress, which is why we have been able to defend it as of late. However, Triperion is consistently trying to gain ground here, because if they can take over this area, they'll have full control over the mountain regions and be able to spread out and take over the flatlands, if you will. Vermont is just another area that is of pinnacle source, because they would be able to theoretically invade Sage Mist and go from there, which has most of the defected high elves, if you will. By controlling both of these positions, they could weed out the lesser towns and villages and cities of that sort from that point. However, if you are able to ensure that these places do not get overrun, Triperion will have to come up with a new way to push forward from that point. As you can see, my men are very well trained, and as he says this, he kind of like zooms in on the different elves and other Uvain forces that are, you know, holding their ground. They're not like your typical grunts. There's a lot of archers, a lot of front combat people, all going at it against these Eldritch Knights and other Uvain or Triperion forces, and, you know, holding their ground for the most part. Similarly, in Vermont, even though they are trying to invade this church currently, a lot of the clerics there have been putting up wards and other things that are preventing them from infiltrating it completely. Now, again, these are merely options for you. Breadcrumbs, if you will. If you do not assist, that is of your own free will. However, if you do assist, again, these resources can be yours. There is a definite war taking place. Scion, while they are trying to keep their hands heavily guarded, they are making moves by the day. We here at Tahale are just one of their options that they have available to them.
Dago steps forward. Allies' resources are what we desperately need at the moment, and a fortified place to call home and stage our next warrior. There you got. He's looking at Orgy while he says this.
Orgy's not convinced. He's like, this looks...
I mean, you're offering quite a lot. I'm wondering where the catch is.
Not everyone you meet has a catch.
Fang even laughs at that one. So, what are we going up against here? Like, how big are the forces that are pushing back on these two on Bermond and the Fort Demon's Creek? How large are these forces? What do they have? Do we have any other information, or is everything you're telling us everything that you have?
Well, in Vermont, there's a particular artifact within the church that they are trying to get hold of. I believe a person by the name of... What is her name? Falamir, I believe, is ensuring that they do not acquire this artifact.
So special about this artifact?
Are you familiar with the term plane shift? I guess roll history check.
Fang rubs his temple. Kind of.
History.
I got a 17.
Yeah, Fang knows.
That's what.
Nat 20.
Orgy, you've heard of them as well. Actually,
Orgies.
yeah, if you're...
19.
I would say if you were honor-born, you would know. But essentially, yeah, you all are familiar with the term plane shifting is. You know that with plane shifting technology, Triperion was able to make their way here in Diademia. Also with plane shift technology, there's a basic rift that you can do that allows you to transcend through different time frames, through different planes of existence. Plane shifting's very powerful in all matters of the word.
So, just to reiterate, if we help you, we're able to use these locations as a homestead for anything else that we do.
Yes, essentially.
If we take Vermont, do we get access to the artifact inside the church?
If you are able to help Falamir, I think I said what was her name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you're able to help Falamir, I'm sure she is willing to work with you.
That could prove vital.
I might need a bit more, something a little more concrete than might be willing to work with us.
Well,
She's one of-
ultimately,
she
she might fall in battle, and we might just have to protect said artifact ourselves.
I'm not sure that's exactly how it works.
Orgies getting sent to the mountains.
The artifact in question is being protected by these clerics. The amount of power that it holds may be something that could, in the wrong hands, be detrimental to the one trying to acquire it. Basically, if you try to assume the role as owner of this artifact and you were not properly trained in how to use it, it could obliterate you or something of equivalence. It is plane shift technology after all.
So we'll just have to convince Falamir that we are better than the Triperion
Fang-
Empire.
I mean, if the
Fang kind of just
Empire-
glances at Fang just glances at artists when it's like this. He's like,
I don't even know if Artis
to
came. He might still be like finishing his food.
Oh, are
right
you
now.
still?
I don't think
thought you
Artis
came up with us.
No.
No.
Oh, motherfucker! I thought you were there with us this whole time. I was about to be like, all right, this is even better. I wonder if we can get Artis to try first. I mean, he is a wizard after all. Might know a thing.
Is he one of your other friends?
Yeah, he's the elf with the sword on his back, wandering around, probably muttering to himself.
Oh, he's the one walking around with the plane shift artifact.
What?
That sword.
Fang stops.
It's one of the Drake Warden swords. They're swords of legend. They go back way before our times, back when dragons used to be more prevalent in this entire regions. Dragon Wardens were assigned to more or less tame these wild beasts to ensure that they didn't engulf Diademia and all its regions therein. The Dragon Wardens were gifted with weapons such as the one that your friend possesses, and with it, they are capable of great power. Even power on par with plane shift.
Well, good to know. So good to know that people know their allies so thoroughly. As I look at
Fang holds up a finger. Fang holds up a finger. Now hold on. He didn't even know what the sword did.
I like how Artis is not present. For
He
any
said,
of
and
this.
his exact words to me when I asked him what the hell his sword did was, "I don't know, my master never told me. So I'm going to blame it on him being dumb."
And I'm going to blame it on you for not taking it away from him.
I legitimately was before then the Grim Reaper showed up and, well, things got in the way. Regardless. So that's what is there. What about the creek? Is there anything of major significance we need to know up there, or is it simply the geological placement that is a necessity?
There's one of two things. The creek itself, the fort that resides there, has a fortified building. The reason that they are going there in question is because Uvain Forces was able to acquire a certain body by the name of Baston Alsatian, to which they are holding him presently. For
What's
those
so
of you that
important?
might know, Baston Alsatian is the brother of Davik Alsatian. However, one important note is Baston is potentially the rightful heir to the Triperian Empire should anything happen to its current king.
Fang is now dead set on going to the mountains. Well,
roll a perception check, Fang.
shit. Ooh, 24.
You look over at Zotair as he's explaining this to you, and your face obviously gives away to the fact that Fort Demon Creek seems to be something of importance to you. But he also picks up on the fact that when he mentions Davik, your whole mannerism, you went from this drunk, trying not to be drunk lizard folk guy.
Not drunk. Tipsy. I never had to roll a constitution. I never failed the constitution
I'm
check.
just saying.
All right, just a little buzzed. Little buzz lizard guy, but as soon as that happened,
the alcohol. But basically your body language changed in that moment.
it went from being very to very I'm now listening.
Are you familiar with Davik?
Yes, I am.
Perhaps it would be important of you to know that he is currently the lead invading Vermont as we speak. Again, these events are all happening at the same time. I am just merely offering you a foothold, if you will.
Fang is now very much trying to contemplate. Well, obviously both places hold certain significance. One, the rightful heir, which if we could get him, could then lead to us having a bit of say in what happens. And, the other, I won't lie, I just kind of want to go stab that son of a bitch in the face.
Yes, well, you don't quite look up to it.
Oh.
So why don't you leave that for, the right people?
Well, or you could look at it this way. You are trying to have your country, your armies march across this land and conquer everything. So wouldn't it behoove you more to have the rightful ruler in your back pocket?
Well, none of that will matter when I have my own plane shift capabilities.
If you can have your own plane shift capabilities. He did say it could rip you apart.
Yes, he said it could.
And
But-
no amount of bravado, I think, will stop that. I don't know if you can intimidate or attempt to intimidate a plane shift artifact, though I do assume you would try.
Well, it's fine. I guess at the end of the day, we'll know. You'll be hidden away in the mountains. And I will have, killed your nemesis and obtained a plane shift artifact. So, know your role.
Never wanted to stab a player so badly. And I've wanted to stab Lil Will's character like multiple times and have done so. But like, I really want to stab Orgy. Like, really do. But I know in the game that is going to fuck a lot of things up. Because, all right. Look. Honestly, I don't care which you go for. As long as he's dead. So if you can guarantee that, then you can shift planes to your heart's content.
See there? He's made up his mind. He'll take the easy road.
Yes, the easy road up through the mountains. Sure. Okay, so then God damn it. I'm trying to think of how the hell we're even going to be able to get the hell out of here and there quickly. Do you have a, I don't know, teleportation capabilities here, or is this something we're going to travel on foot for?
I know if a person he arrives tomorrow.
Person
Well-
can you say that one more time? I totally missed all that.
Oh, I said I know of a person he arrives tomorrow.
Okay, sorry. I was just, all I heard was arrives tomorrow. I'm like, I can't even play that off.
See, he's
Well,
drunk.
well, I guess we have the knights.
Yeah, so you might want to rest up. Clear your head, perhaps. I'll go sharpen my sword.
Fang, I assume you will be leading the Fort Demon's Creek.
Yes, I will be leading.
You shall know that they are using one of their elite military fighters. She's an Echo Knight. Are you familiar with Asuma? I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. You
Asuma.
and Dargo.
Why do I
both
feel
get,
like I know that name?
I don't think you know her through me.
Okay.
But you and Dargo both know through your time at Triperion that Asuma is like top-notch elite guard. She has so many kills under her belt. She doesn't hesitate on her orders. She is a Yanti pureblood Echo Knight of one of the highest calibers. And she has known like henchmen, if you will, that always accompany her on her missions. One being Van Boren, who is a Loxodon that defected from the Scion region. Dunja, who is a Kalishtar. Talon, who's in Aarakocra, also defected. But yes, with her group, they're like the no mercy squad. They just drop down, kill anything that's moving, and get the fuck out. Like, they don't have time. She's an Echo Knight too, so she just like zoop zoop, and so if she's going to be at Fort Demon's Creek, it's gonna be one hell of a fight.
Fang is just like, fucking, of course she is. Of course it's her. Why couldn't she just have died of old age or something by this point? And I guess her goon patrol will be with her.
Yes, of course.
Dargo rubs his temple. Her and her squad are formidable. I will go with you.
Yeah, I'm going to need it. That's... Yeah. They, as a orgy, are you there, I assume?
Oh yeah, I'm watching this all unfold, and you're watching your face be all sad.
Just my face just go from like, I was like, all right, fine, I'll go to the fucking mountains. It's not a big deal. Like,
And
whatever. It's not shit's done. And then it's just like, oh yeah, the murder squad's gonna be there. It's like, fuck.
I look at Dargo and I go, sounds like a little bit of bad news. And with Fang leading you into battle, I'll try and get to Fort Demon's Creek after I've handled business in Vermont. So that way, maybe you won't die. And then I leave.
As he's leaving, I'm just like,
I feel like if that was Artis in the same position as Fang, you would have stabbed him. You would have chokeslammed him. You would have did something. Fang's a little bitch because the big kitty man's like, you're gonna die, blah, blah, blah. And he walks away. You're just like, oh, I must not stab him. I must be good.
Dargo puts a hand on Fang's shoulder and whispers, don't worry. He'll probably die foolishly wielding that plane shift of artifact anyways.
Zotair calls out to you, Orgy. I imagine you'll be taking your wizard friend with you then.
Whoever decides they feel the need to join me, they can come along and watch how it's done. And I just continue, like, I say that as I'm still walking away.
Are you still there, Dargo, and I guess Fang? I mean, Fang's probably
be right back.
Yeah.
Nah, I would say shortly after that, we walk out and probably go to find another tavern so we can go plan our route and activities.
Okay. Maka, Zotair looks over to you as they all kind of like exit out. And you, my dear, I have a special mission that I think you will be able to assist with.
Yes?
There is a force below this city that is awakened, and I believe if you are able to slay their queen, we will not have an issue.
No?
No, well, this Spider Queen is very formidable. She will most likely try to take over Tahale from within. However, if I send you down with some of my forces, I think you will be able to provide aid to them and potentially find something of use for yourself and for... Ooh, I'm blanking on the name. Iruku. And I believe he shall be able to protect you from the poisonous attacks, if you will. So as he continues to brief you on more about what you potentially will be going up against, we are going to take our first break. Well, our only break, but we're going to take a 10-minute break, and we're going to be back shortly after, and things are going to get interesting, more or less, potentially.
Why is Fang gonna try and attack me?
Oh no, even worse. But everybody get ready for that when we get back.
Yay.
Woo.
10 minutes. Sweet.
All present and or accounted for, sir.
Yay! And
It's
we're
not
back.
100 degrees yet.
There we go. So Maka's getting breathed. Y'all make your way down to get some more alcohol, and Mio is following Orgy and Sulk as they are like exiting the area as well, and he kind of like quickens his pace to match that of Orgy's. Orgy.
What is it?
I was wondering if you could do me a favor.
Oh, it depends.
Well, there is training grounds here. There's like a secret area where they allow fighting. I was wondering if you could spar with me here shortly.
What is it exactly that you need practice in?
And he pulls out his long sword. Wait, I'm not sure it's long sword. Freaking. He pulls out his sword and looks at you. It would seem I tend to get in a bit of trouble, and I would like to ensure that I do not die should I, fall in the wrong hands. Yes, a long sword.
To give you a quick, up and down. I'm not a miracle worker, but I'll see what I can do.
Great, that's,
And we probably need as much practice as we can get, so we probably need to get there early.
yes. I will wake up extra early then.
Okay.
And he kind of makes his way off, blending in with the crowd of, well, not blending in, but making his way through the crowd of girls and other things. Artis, you have finished your food, and you watch as Fang and Dargo re-arrive back in the same place. Almost about 30 to 40 minutes after they've left. Well, probably a little bit more, like an hour after.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably a solid hour. We walk in and I just see him sitting there. I'm like, have you honestly been sitting here this whole time?
Artist looks up at Fang. Why, yes, Fang, that would be quite a logical conclusion.
I point at the sword on his back. The sword that you carry around.
I have two swords, but yes, this
You
one.
know damn good and well what I'm talking about. How long have you known what that is?
Probably 3 months after we all separated.
Things just
I walk past Fang and I say, brains and brawn.
I'm about to retort, and then I just smile. Artis, you get the pleasure of traveling with our furball companion here, Orgy, because you have experience with plane shift artifacts. And I imagine he's going to need all the help he can get with it. And with your expertise in the Arcana, I'm sure you'll be able to help him.
Artist kind of quirks an eyebrow. Fang, are you okay? You seem to be
I
being
haven't been
awfully
okay
nice.
since I died, if I'm being honest with you.
Fair point, Fang.
just I'm a broken man. I'm a broken man. But yeah, so I'm
guessing artist
Fang
gets
says
pulled in on
that
the
and then he
details.
we fill you in on everything. We backfill you on all the shenaniganry. And then Fang kind of sits down. He kind of pulls out a map a little bit, and then based off what he can recall from the hologram and like kind of how the forces were set up. Most of the forces, and I just began talking to Dargo about it. Most of the forces appear to be coming from the southwest or southeast, mind you. So we can either attempt to go around southwest and then try to hit them from the back and then just try to press them against the fort. Or we attempt to sneak into the fort from the northeast and then just simply attempt to hold down, get in that position, but then I feel like if we end up there, then we're just no more effective than the group that is already there.
You guys are at the table with me, right? Like we're all kind of sitting, going over the map and the plan.
We're nearby, yes.
Artist gets up from his table and walks over to Dargo and Fang and just kind of leans over and points at the map. Well, Fang, it would be smart, as you pointed out, to come from behind, but I'm guessing from the discussion there's a lot of magical users, so I'm guessing they would have a lot of defenses up. So would it not be more logical to try and get in the fort if you can and find out the exact capabilities of your opposing force?
Fang just smiles up at him like, oh my god, he's almost learning things. That would be the case. However, most of the magic is being down here. And then he literally picks your finger up and moves it down where Sage Mist is. That's where you're going. We
Sage
are
Mist or
having to
Vermont?
deal... Vermont. I'm like moving it down. I couldn't remember exactly where Vermont was. I'm just moving it to where Sage Mist was because I knew it was near there. To like put on Vermont. That's where a lot of the magic is being used. Up in the mountains, they have deployed, well, the Death Squad. So aptly named, because there's not much left when they leave other than death. So if we can get the element of surprise on them, it'd be for the best. Now, of course, we're not just going to run up behind them and start trying to stab. We are going to be doing a bit of scouting and reconnaissance from a safe distance prior to engaging, of course. But thank you, Artist, for your input.
Artist,
Artist.
roll a history check for me real quick.
Okay. Wow.
I guess that was poor.
Well, after flubbing that, Artist kind of stands back. That'd be smart, Fang. You wouldn't want to die again. And he kind of spins on his heel and goes over to talk to Orgy.
Fang is just holding
I
the
stand
steak,
up, I walk over.
the knife in his hand, the dinner knife in his hand, like,
See, you got something against Artist because that dinner knife should have been stabby stab stab in the kitty like 12 times ago.
once
But I'm
again,
just a DM.
I need Orgy. I don't need Artist.
You
I-
need Artist to help make sure Orgy doesn't like plane shift himself into like a pretzel.
No, I don't.
I grab Fifth,
Fun
and
fact.
I
No,
tell
I
him,
don't.
I tell him we'll go over our plans. You just have to forgive some people when they realize they're going to die. They become a bit bitter, and we walk over to another table.
We're at the
I
snob
want to
table.
sabotage you so badly. I want you to know that. I want to sabotage you so badly. I want to actually. Never mind. I'm gonna keep this in my back pocket. I might have to DM the DM.
After all that, Gardner leans forward. Forget that. We have our own worries to focus on. As much as I would like to get into the fort, see what they are and what what was it, Bastion?
Bastion.
Yeah,
Bastion.
Bastion. Yeah.
How Bastion is doing. We should take their force while we're already outside the fort. So I agree. We should scout them out and then attack. Try to disrupt their assault as much as we possibly can.
Probably pick up a soldier or two along the way. Pick off a soldier or two, mind you. Try to get a bit of information out of them.
Yes.
Who knows? Maybe. Actually, he looks at both of us. He looks at himself and then at you. Actually, I'm not sure if we would really be able to blend in too well, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's it. That's all we got.
Artist, roll another history check, because your first one sucked. Maybe Fang just makes you forget things. Oh my gosh. Roll it with advantage.
Holy shit!
A wizard that is
right, hang on,
and
hang on.
intelligence.
Wait a minute.
All right,
Wait a
21.
minute. Was that a
21.
Okay.
wait? Why
I
was that a custom roll? You just Why'd you roll a d20 and not just a history check?
I was trying something different to see if it worked, and obviously it didn't work.
No.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing if I rolled a nat 1.
So you said 21 for your actual throw, or your actual roll?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so while you're sitting there with Orgy, you are familiar with the part of the map, not fully, obviously, with more or less the Scion region being like the Scion capital city of the Uvain people. Namely, the fact that you were there learning at the Vulcan's Academy prior to like meeting Fang and all the other stuff. You have heard through your teachings and things of that nature that the church in Burmond has quite a deal of different magic users, some of which have defected from Scion itself. While there are still loose allies between the people of Uvain and the people of Scion, you have an inkling that if you arrive at Burmond, there might be a greater deal of magic users than the ones that are attacking Fort Demon's Creek. If this plane shift artifact is supposed to be
So the people of Scion and Vermont are different, right?
Yeah, the people of Scion is like that floating city to the...
Yeah, and then Vermont are the Uvain people.
Yeah, essentially
Okay.
the Scion is just like the royal Uvain, and then the Burmond and everyone else is just like the citizens, if you will.
Okay. Artist looks at Orgy. So what is all this about plane shifting? What exactly is it we're needing to do?
Well, the first thing that you need to focus on isn't the plane shifting. It's killing any single person that gets in our way. That is the only thing that matters. If they stop you from doing what we need to do, they die. Easy.
But that's against the law?
The law, Jesus. The law.
It's not against the law if they're coming after you with a sword or an axe or a dagger or casting a spell in your direction. We are going into battle. So clear your head of the law and focus only on how sharp your blade is and how quickly you plan on putting that through another. Because that's what's going to keep you alive.
I have no issue killing the enemy. It's the way you sounded. It sounded like we were killing innocents that were just happened to be in the way.
Well, that's just the thing. Innocence is all upon how you look at it. Right?
Artist is
Wrong.
just like shaking his head like, God, this dude's a psycho.
But
as
let me be very clear about one thing. If you try to stop me from reaching the goals that I have, just means you become one of the people that need to die.
And as you say this, Orgy, the waitress who is trying to carefully refill your drinks, you know, without getting in the way, overhears this, and she just like spills wine directly in your lap. And she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." She like hides
And I
behind
immediately
Artis.
grab her by the throat
Oh no!
and I look her in the eye as I squeeze a little bit harder. And I say, if I didn't have business to take care of tomorrow, this would have gone very differently. And I push her away.
And she like scurries off.
I then proceed to be a cat and just lick my own crotch in front of everybody.
Oh my goodness.
Good lord. Okay.
Artist just doesn't know what to say. He just
I just watched him threaten some young elf, didn't do shit, and is now just sitting there in front of him and he's licking himself.
was just like the shock, because like Artist is used to Fang, like Fang's kind of treatment of people and everything, because Fang's still like pretty mellow when dealing with people, but like this just like 180 was just like, what the
Oh, I thought I was used to dealing with a crazy person. This is a crazy person. Shit.
and the realization that I have to go on a journey with said person is starting to click.
Note to self, don't spill anything anywhere. Okay.
Simple
After
plan.
my bath, I leave the pub.
Artist walks over to Fang and Dargo. An interesting character this Orgy is.
Yes,
say
you
that.
could say that. Jinx. We're such lovely chaps.
Artist gets a couple of drinks. Artist gets like more drinks than anyone's seen him like drink before, and he just starts
Before
knocking them.
Artis actually starts knocking them back, Fang sees you ordering them. Artis, I am never one to really stop someone from cutting loose and having a drink, but don't you have to like train someone tomorrow morning on something? I understand that you're like
Damn.
wizard now, but like you're still frail.
What's a quaint way of putting it, Fang? And Artist knocks one of the drinks back and passes one to Fang and Dargo. You are right.
So-
I do need to train someone tomorrow, so I can't get blasted tonight. But I will still cut
walking
back. And he
over,
knocks
like, just a
another
bunch
one
of-
back and then passes one to Fang and Dargo.
I just got to. Fang is like kind of collecting them at this point because he is realizing, like, okay, we got shit to do tomorrow. Now we actually have things to do, not just like, all right, cool, we're gonna roll out of bed at some point tomorrow morning and leave. Now it's like, fuck, I gotta go storm a goddamn keep. I gotta fight these goddamn super soldiers. Awesome.
And then-
So Fang is just like slowly kind of just, he's keeping the shot glasses like to the side, not drinking them.
Do you not want yours, Fang? And then like artist like quickly reaches over, grabs one, and knocks it
I
back.
fucking snatch your hand before you grab that glass. I will sleight of hand check the shit out of that one. Just a quick. Psh. Actually,
Alright,
can I
make
just slap his hand?
Artist, make a perception check. Fang, make a
Sleight of hand?
acrobatics check. Wait, you're trying to slap it out of his hand? Sleight of hand.
Well, if is he reaching for it, or is he like just seeing if he notices that? Because otherwise, I'd like to just slide a hand them like out of sight.
Oh no, something else is happening for artist. But if
Oh,
artist wants
I
to try and make sure he gets the drink, you can roll acrobatics.
20.
For the perception.
Yep.
Okay.
What?
Roll,
Oh, now you're rolling. You're just rolling a d20 now and adding your shit instead of clicking it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was
uh,
doing something different.
Roll acrobatics.
I got a 25.
Damn it.
What did you get, artist?
Oh, for acrobatics?
Yeah.
Alrighty. 20.
Okay. You go to like grab another drink. Fang like swats it out of the way so that you don't.
Just immediately, just like, psh, like what? like, Artist,
Just
I'm
told
really trying not to stab you anymore. I'm really, you're making it very difficult for me to like, not harm you. You understand that, right?
Are you the one going on a journey with the murder pussy tomorrow?
All
No.
right, Dargo cuts in. Look, you have business to do in the morning. We have a trip to plan. Unlike you, we pace our drinks instead of knocking all back to get shit faced.
And once again, you literally have to go wield magic in the morning. Does a magic with a hangover sound like something that should be done?
Artist gives a big sigh. Oh, you're right. You're right. And kind of like puts his hands on the table and gets up and goes to go to bed.
As you're leaving,
Fang was like just sitting there like waiting. He was just like he's got the
Do it again.
'cause he
again.
He picked up the fork and was just like, if this motherfucker goes for it, I'm stabbing him in the hand. He's gonna have to magic heal his little fucking digits here in a second.
as you go to leave out the secret whisper there, artist, with that perception check, you notice a familiar face in front of you. This older elvish man, his hair is all white from his age, looks over at you. Master Falarin, is that you? You would recognize him to be Elwyn. He used to work for your father back in the day.
Elwyn, is that you?
Why, yes,
And-
master. What brings you to Holly?
Just lots of business, Elwyn. And artist kind of gets his shoulder as I go to one of the other ends where I have a room so we can talk and I can get to bed. What are you doing here, Elwyn?
Mostly business, no pleasure, sadly. I was coming here to offer assistance to Zotair, perhaps, in a way. However, I have not seen you in quite a bit, sir. Have you been doing well?
Much better as of late. Leaving home was quite difficult, and trying to live on my own was even harder, but it all turned out for the best.
Yes, well, you do know you're always welcome back. Your position as magistrate still is there for you, young sir.
I see. I'd like to return home soon. What does father and the family have to say?
Well, they are, tending after your brother, Brayon, and your sister, Yara. But, yes, they are, for the most part, doing well. They do miss you, young sir. They speak about you often. I know that
And
you might have left due to what happened to young...
Eric.
Huh?
Eric was the person that
Oh,
was
no,
killed.
no, I was not going to talk about
Oh,
the deceased brother. Your former girlfriend. What's her name?
oh, yeah.
Silva?
Silva.
Yeah.
And artist chokes up a little bit. And how is she?
She's doing well, as things go.
And is she waiting for me to come back?
I believe she has moved on, young sir.
Well, can't be helped, I suppose. And artist keeps talking with Elwyn, trying to get as much information about back home as possible to find out who's in charge and what's going on basically before I decide to return.
Okay. So he's able to inform you that your family, since you left, has been assigned to Avonless. It's a small village to the southeast. There they serve as magistrate to one of the lords in that area, basically offering assistance both with Scion and Sage Mist and any other authorities within that area. They're kind of like their speak person. He informs you that overall everyone's doing well, all things considered. But yeah, you make your way to the inn, and he kind of wishes you well. He doesn't want to keep you up in case you have things that you have to attend to, but he does tell you that he'll be here for the next week or so in case you want to catch up or talk about anything.
Good night, Elwyn.
Good night, master. Do sleep well.
And you. And then artist goes to bed for the night to sleep off the booze.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything for the night after?
Nope.
Okay, so the next morning arrives. What you would imagine it be morning. The only thing of note is the sky changes kind of from night sky to a almost sunset sky minus the sun, just the colors. You imagine this is just normal for this place, but it does cast a different hue on everything throughout the city, as you all wake up at your varying degrees of time. Also, artists, roll a initiative roll to see if you remember to wake up in time for 9 o'clock.
Uh, 22.
Okay, yeah, you do your trance as elves tend to do for their rest, and given time, you are able to find your way to this training ground within the city. You're still a bit early, and you arrive, and you see Orgy and Mio kind of like about to spar. They both have like their weapons drawn, and they're in the area like eyeing each other up.
Artist is just gonna watch.
Okay. Orgy, can I have you roll initiative to see who goes between us two?
Yep, 1 second.
A 7.
Would it be possible for Fang to be watching from like the stands or whatever?
Yeah, you and Dargo,
And
said that
Dargo?
y'all were gonna
Yeah.
like wake up enough time to.
21.
Yep, you definitely go first. So Mio has his shield and sword drawn. Y'all are about 10 paces apart from each other. What would you like to do?
I charge at him. Well, first, I'm gonna rage,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna charge at him. And first thing I'm gonna do is, like, I'm gonna do an unarmed strike,
Okay.
and that is a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. So 5 damage.
Okay.
Then I'm going to hit, like, so I basically like punched him, and then as he's kind of been pushed back from that, I'm going to swing my great sword at him.
Okay.
And nat 20.
Yeah, that hits.
All right.
This poor son of a bitch is dead in one move.
And that's 17 damage.
Okay.
And then that's it, actually. I already used a bonus action, so.
Okie dokes. So y'all watch as Orgy like goes in, sneakily like lunges close to the ground, and at the last second like comes up with his fist, whacks it against Mio's jaw. While Mio is caught off guard, he immediately follows up with his greatsword and slashes down on the young boy as he tries to deflect it, but the power is too great, and he's thrown back a little. Mio follows up, looking at you, giving you a stare.
I'm glad Queen's not here.
Why?
Well, Orgy is about to murder her boyfriend, so like.
Mio's not her boyfriend. Joseph
I know,
is.
I'm teasing.
Yeah, but she's friends with Mio.
Well,
Yeah, like she's still like of the like Mio is still her homie, so it's still like.
And of all the people to be doing this,
Yeah.
So Mio's gonna like smile, and you watch Orgy as his eyes like flicker a bit, and you see his pupils change to like a almost starry sky kind of look, and they ignite a little bit as he casts Hex on you. Pulling back a little, he steadies his long sword, eyes you up, and then goes to like strike you at the side. Ooh, net 20. Does a 29 hit?
yep.
Okay. Shield in hand, he does 13 damage to you as he strikes you with his long sword of life stealing. The target takes an additional 10 necrotic damage if it isn't a construct or an undead, which I think it already added. No, that was just crit damage.
Hold on, but what kind of damage is it? Slashing?
Necrotic. Oh, yeah, slashing, sorry.
Okay, so that was halved.
10 hit points of temporary. What is... you take an additional 10 points of necrotic damage, and you watch as it almost like revitalizes Mio in his spot. And then, since you are close, he's going to sheath out his sword into his shield and go to touch you with a shocking grasp. I take it 11 doesn't hit.
No.
He goes to touch you, and you like flinch away, trying to recover from his first attack. But since he did attack you, his hex will cause an extra 1d6 of necrotic, so 5 more damage atop of that, as that ends his turn.
Oh, I see you have some tricks, child.
I don't plan on holding back. They won't hold back on me.
All right. So
This kid is gonna get fucking killed. Like, this kid is dead.
attack with my greatsword. Does a 19 hit?
No. You go to attack him, he pulls up his shield. Come on, Orgy! Don't hold back.
How about a 22?
That hits.
Okay.
An awful lot of shit for somebody in striking distance.
That does 8 damage.
Oh.
It's getting pretty heated in this arena.
Oh gosh. Artis is like, oh gosh, what did I walk in on?
And then, as a bonus action, I'm going to use Claws of the Damned.
Okay.
15 to hit.
Does not hit.
Okay.
Also, I can play battle music, I think. Maybe.
There's a small part of it that wants to be an asshole and just take a shot with the short bow from where I am. Just to do sneak attack damage, and just so Orgy can just be like, "Ah, what the fuck?"
Okay, that's it for my turn.
Okay. Smiling as you follow up with your attacks, and he like dodges that claw attack at the last second. Mio looks at you and casts command, and he's like, grovel, and I need you to make a wisdom save.
So, reaction, Arcane Rebuke.
Okay.
When a creature forces you to make a saving throw while I'm raging, you can. My reaction causes 3d6 force damage to that creature.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus.
Also, the
So-
hex dropped from the last sword attack that you used on him, just so you know.
Okay, so I'm not hexed, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. You take 10 damage.
Okay. What's
But
your
then
save?
said, what do I need to roll, you said?
Wisdom save?
16.
Does not make it. You find as like your knees like lock up and your joints get stiff as you're looking at the kid, and you like kneel down before him, in like a forced groveling position. And he's like, "Now, Orgy, you didn't think I was gonna go easy on you, did you?" And he goes to attack you, I guess with advantage because you're prone. Does a 26 hit?
Yeah.
Okay. He does 12 more slashing damage, and for a bonus action, he will use Healing Light and use 3 slots of his 3d6. And he recovers 8 points of healing. That's bonus, that's double action. That's end of his turn. Let me see. I think when I attack you, you can make another save.
Never mind. Sorry. This battle brought to you by Diademia.
Okay, yeah, I think you can make another save because I attacked you. Wisdom save.
Ooh. That one.
Still holding. Now, since he's holding it's just like one round. So, at the top of your round, you are free to attack again. So yeah.
Which would be now?
Yeah, now.
Okay. I was just making sure. Okay. Okay. So...
Command's not concentration. It's just a 1 round show pony.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, wasn't he shouldn't have dropped to the ground on your turn. He should have dropped to the ground at the start of his next turn.
The target must
Why?
succeed on moves or follow the command on its next turn.
On its next
Oh.
turn. So if you told him to like drop his sword, for instance, he wouldn't drop it as you're saying it. He would drop it when on his next turn.
Okay. In that case,
For future reference.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, because we already rolled advantage and stuff on the attack
Yeah.
rolls and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
I'll be right back.
all right, so I'm just gonna go with 2 more great sword attacks.
okay.
Does a 28 hit
Yes.
and nat 20.
Yep.
Perfect. All right, so the first one does 16 damage.
Okay.
Well, that was actually for the crit damage, but then another 12 damage on top of that,
Okay.
and then so as a great weapon master attack, when I score a critical hit with a melee weapon, you can make 1 melee weapon attack as a bonus action.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do that. Does a 23 hit?
Yes.
Okay. And then that's 6 more damage.
Okie dokes. So the groveling thing
just-
happens, and
Sorry, just real quick though. Is that bonus action count as the only bonus action I can do?
Yes.
Or is it okay? I just wasn't sure if that was like basically like a free thing, or I can do that and like an actual bonus action that I already have.
Oh,
but-
no, it's like one or the
Okay.
other.
It's all good.
So the groveling thing happens. Fang gets up off his feet and like viciously attacks the kid 3 times to hit. Three
Yeah.
hits. All landing. You just watch as, to no avail, Mio's trying to like block them, but they're just coming down too hard. Did you say that was the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Taking a moment. Mio is going to cast Hold Person on you, and knowing that you're probably going to use your reaction to do the thing again, he's going to prepare for it, but yeah. Wisdom save.
Okay. I'll do the wisdom save real quick first. I can't read it. 14.
Doesn't save.
Okay, and then my reaction is 3d6.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Which is, what is that, 13 damage, I think. 13 damage.
Okie dokes. While you're... Does that happen immediately? Let me read. Hold person. At the end of each of its turns, the target must repel for the duration. At the end of each of its turns, the target can make a wisdom saving throw. Next success, the spell ends. So, at the end of each of your turns, you can make another wisdom save. He is going to, I guess while you're paralyzed, take a moment to heal again. So healing light for another 3d6 to recover 12 points of health, and then that was bonus action, leftover action. I think that's an actual spell, so I don't think I can do that just yet. Or is that an ability? Might be an ability. 2 seconds!
Hmm?
Oh, it's a racial trait. Okay, that's why it doesn't do anything. Okay, he is going to activate his necrotic shroud. And you
Okay.
watch as this like dark energy just starts to swirl around him. For action, I guess. Disengage, retreat back 30 feet. Top of your turn, ends, into your turn, saving throw.
Okay, so this is my question. You said you cast like hold person or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a concentration spell.
Okay, so I don't know what that spell encompasses. So like, what's the deal?
Oh, hold person just paralyzes you in your position if you fail to save. At the end of each of your turns, the target can make another wisdom saving throw. On a success, the spell ends on the target.
So I'm completely paralyzed, or I can't move.
What does paralyzed say? Paralyzed.
Just so I, like I said,
A
so I know.
paralyzed creature is incapacitated and can't move or speak. The creature automatically fails strength and dex saves. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage. Any attack that hits the creature is a crit hit if the attacker is within 5 feet of the creature. Essentially, you're like incapacitated, so you
Okay.
can't move. Fail.
All right, hold on. So you say I just have to do another wisdom saving throw?
Yeah.
Okay. 17?
Yeah, that makes it so it is gone, but it
It's your
happens
turn.
at the end of your turn. So,
Yep. Yep.
top of his turn, he is 30 feet away from you, and he's going to hit you with 2 Eldritch Blasts to start. Does a 20 or 11 hit?
The 11 does not. The 20 does.
Okay. Damage for that one is 14 force damage. As he just
Okay.
like shoots these Eldritch Blasts at you. As soon as that goes, because it's 2 per action, he's going to close the gap again, run back up to you, and try and attack you while that force blow. Hopefully.
How many? Sorry, you have 3 attacks per action?
Well, Eldritch Blast, once you cast it at 5th
Okay.
level or higher,
I'm just-
it's like double.
Okay.
27 to hit.
Yep.
And 13 slashing, but halved.
Yeah. Oops.
Yep, that's it.
Okay. Is that thing still around you?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Necrotic Shroud does... I think it does damage if you attack me.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna ask, like, what it is.
The instant you transform, other creatures within 10 feet of you that can see you must each succeed on a charisma save or become frightened of you until the end of your next turn. But you're paralyzed when I activated it, so... during it, once on each of your turns, you can deal extra necrotic damage to one target when you deal damage to it with an attack or a spell. The necrotic damage equals your level. So essentially you just take 10 extra necrotic. Since
If I can see you, you said?
Yeah, if I clicked off of it. Once on each of your turns you can deal extra, and the instant you transform other creatures within 10 feet of you that can see you must succeed. Yeah.
So there's no saving throw or anything. It's just if I'm within 10 feet of you, I have to take damage.
Yeah, normally if I activated and you weren't paralyzed, you would have to make a charisma save, and if you failed that, you would like be afraid of me essentially. But it looks like that's become frightened of you until the end of your next turn. So that whole thing's like over.
Yeah. Okay. So it's my turn right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if I move more than 10 feet away from you, I'm out of the realm of this thing, right?
Yes. Although I am in melee, just so you know.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure I understand everything.
Yeah.
But I don't take additional damage for attacking you because of it.
Not for this one, no. It's not like
Okay.
the other
Okay. Okay.
Warlocky spell.
Guess I'll attack you twice then. A 21.
That misses.
Okay. How about a 28?
That one hits.
Okay. That one does 8 damage.
Okay.
And bonus action, Claws of the Damned. 18 to hit.
Misses again.
Okay. Okay, that's it for my turn.
Okay. I'm running out of spells. This is why you can't smite. You smite, you get that extra damage, but you run out of spell stuffs. And then you got an angry kitty coming after you. So he is going to use 3rd level Cure Wounds on himself. And heal for 19. And then go to attack you with his longsword. Does a 17 hit?
No.
Dang it. Do I have any bonus actions? I do not. But you are within 10 feet of me, so you take 10 necrotic. And that will end my turn.
Okay, one second. Take the necrotic. Okay. Alright, so. Let's see.
Are y'all just like popcorn seats up there?
Yeah, we're all just watching.
I mean,
YouTube
I'm
beat
pretty
the
much
fuck
just
out of each
watching.
other,
Yeah, I'm watching as fucking Milo is just bobbing and weaving, trying not to get fucking demolished. As Orgy is throwing everything in the kitchen sink at Orgy, and Orgy is just charging at him, trying to hit him.
Nice. Hey, the first thing to stop a dictator is to knock him down a few pegs. No one's gonna be like,
Milo's gonna do
but
that?
didn't you get beat by Mio?
You got beat by a water flavoring.
Oh no!
I really
Yeah,
hope
I
Mio
mean,
wins this now.
You know, somebody would say that, and then those people just end up murdered. So,
Oh my god.
But all right, so yeah, 2 more greatsword attacks, I suppose.
Okay,
22 to hit,
that hits.
and 13.
That one misses.
All right. So 13 damage.
Okay.
Claws of the Damned for the bonus action. 23 to hit.
Yes.
Okay, and with that, real quick. 1d6, yeah, and then expand the damage. Yep. So I'm gonna attack with those, and I'm gonna use a slot on them to then take half of whatever damage I do with them as temporary hit points.
And it's necrotic damage, right?
Correct.
Because Mio is halved for that. in Radiant because of his ASMR lineage.
Okay. Well, then you take 3 damage.
Okay.
Okay. That's the end of my turn.
Okay. He is going to. Can I? I don't know if I should save that for healing or escape.
I mean, I'm sure Orgy won't accidentally kill you, so I mean, you might as well just go all out with it.
Wow. He's gonna go for broke. So he's gonna attack you, and he will. Does a 26 hit?
Yep.
That is 13 damage halved. And attack again with a 17 to hit.
With a, I'm sorry, what?
17.
No.
Okay, so that one misses. Double attack. Double your pleasure, have your funds. And he is going to... Oh gosh, do I have the spell slot? Oh, I do! He's going to use Compel Duel, although I don't think you're actually going to try and run away. I need you to make another Wisdom save.
Okay. It's just going to cause you to get a reaction.
Okey-dokes.
Wisdom is a 13.
That is a fail, and
Alright,
hit me
and
with the beef.
you take 12 damage.
Okay. It's looking rough, guys. It's looking rough.
Yep.
But you're compelled to duel him, so you attempt to compel a creature into a duel. One creature that you can see within range must make a wisdom save. On a failed save, the creature is drawn to you, compelled by your divine demand. For the duration, it has disadvantage on attack rolls against creatures other than you, and must make a wisdom saving throw each time it attempts to move to a space that is more than 30 feet away from you. If it succeeds on this saving throw, this spell doesn't restrict the target's movement for that turn.
Okay.
The spell ends if you attack any other creature. This is for me. If you cast a spell that targets a hostile creature other than the target, if a creature friendly to you damages the target or casts a harmful spell on it, or if you end your turn more than 30 feet away from the target.
Oh, well, don't worry. We dueling.
Yeah, I was gonna say, DM. I'm gonna say this as nice as I can. That was a fucking waste of a spell, my guy.
Well, yeah, I just want to make sure. So at the end of all that, another 10 points of necrotic for the shroud that's active. Because I think as his HP gets lower, he may want to try and run away. But this is gonna force him to not. As long as I can.
Based on not only the character, but the player of said character.
Hey,
I
I
can
am responding as
guarantee you
Neo will
this
respond,
motherfucker
and
would.
this guy does not have
So
much
as-
battle experience.
Okay, I was gonna say, even as Mio, who knows who Orgy is, and has seen Orgy fight before.
That's the end of my turn.
Okay.
Does Orgy typically retreat?
So we'll go 2 greatsword attacks.
Okay,
More than that 20.
that one hits.
Alright. And then the other one is a 21.
That one misses.
Okay, so we'll do, whoops. Ignore that. Do the crit damage. Roll. So 13 damage.
Okay.
And then we're in a bonus action. Claws of Damned.
I'm the DM now. Yeah, it reorganized when Maka disconnected. 17?
Yeah, I missed on that one.
Oh. Is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn.
I have to make a Constitution save to see if I hold concentration. Dang it, the compelled duel is off. Oh well. I'm going to use my last spell slot for Cure Wounds, 6 heals, and go to attack for a 19 to hit. There you go.
It does. Yeah.
Woohoo! 8 points of damage, and then necrotic.
What kind of damage?
Slashing, so half 8.
4.
I
Alright.
keep forgetting about that. And then the 10 necrotic from the shroud.
Okay.
Oof. Oh, I'm like, I have one more spell slot, and it's a level 2. Okay, end of my turn.
Alright. 2 more greatsword attacks.
Oh gosh.
That 25 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
And. Oof,
He
a
did his
16.
best, guys. He did his best. The 16 does.
Yeah.
I was
So
gonna say,
9 damage.
Oof. And you watch as like Orgy like comes up with his blade and Mio like falls off, hits the ground, skitters for a little bit, and Orgy has won.
I move over him. I'm pointing my sword like against his chest. And then I turn around and walk off and tell him I think this training session is over.
Orgy's so cool.
Honestly, I'm surprised Orgy ain't more pissed off.
God.
Like, yeah, we're gonna have a little sparring session.
he
yeah,
knew we were
train you up on
sparring, so,
weapons,
like-
and then all of a sudden it's just like magic being thrown. It's like, oh, okay. Thought this was a sparring session. I see this is where this is going now.
Yeah,
Oh,
but there is some level of at least respect in the fact that Mio didn't go out like a bitch. So
yeah, there. The pins are fixed, at least for the most part. Now Orgy, make a. Actually, everybody make a perception check. Orgy, your back's turned, so I don't even know what you'll see.
17.
I'm not much with an 11.
Ooh, hold on a sec. Yeah, I'm gonna use one of my luck points to re-roll that.
Okay. Maka's like, I need to see this.
Ah, it's
Oh, okay.
better. 13.
So Fang, you like look over to Dargo to like be like, eh. But eventually between all of you, you watch as Mio starts to get up, his whole body starts to emanate this like white, pure, like radiant light off of him. And it gets brighter
shit.
and brighter and brighter by the second. As it gets bright enough, Orgy, the sheen kind of like hitting your back catches your attention, and you kind of like peek over your shoulder and see the kids lit up.
Fucking looking at artists like, this you?
Artist looks up at Fang and Dargo. He's like holds his hand like I don't know what's going on. As like Artist takes it like 2 steps backwards.
Two step, like you counter, like fucking dispel magic something? You worthless
Uh,
wizard.
I still have my sword in my hand, so I kind of just raise it and point it at Mio and say, "What is going on?"
As you all are, doing as
Fang's drawing his sword. Well, Fang's got his bow out and is kind of like just aiming it because last time some shit like this happened, like the fucking
world ended.
death showed up. Like death showed up, so just fucking short bow at the ready, like aimed.
So the light gets brighter, more intense by the second until like everything's radiated in this white sickness. And as it like starts to fade out, you watch as something crawls out of Mio.
Something?
Well, yeah, a humanoid something comes out of Mio, kind of like contained in this bright light. And then you watch as Mio's body turns into shadow and kind of like absorbs into this being. And when it dissipates, a person that looks like Mio is standing there. However, he's wearing like robes and things of that nature, not the armor and the short sword and shield that Mio was temporarily moments before. And he looks at you, Orgy. Well done. Well done. And the light fades fully, and this man standing there where Mio once laid.
Who are you?
My name is Owen.
And why did you just appear out of Mio?
You could say that Mio and I are two halves of the same coin.
Okay. So how did that come about?
It's always been a thing.
I'm gonna take a stab in the dark here and assume Oim is spelled O-I-M.
Yeah. Because I'm that clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound right. I was literally sitting here like, how would you spell that? And I looked. Two halves of the same coin. You. Okay.
Well, how is it that you've come out now?
Mostly out of necessity. It would seem that you would require my assistance much further than you would require Mio's. I will be accompanying you and Artis to hopefully ensure that you do not die in the process.
Okay. And what is your major concern with what we're doing or where we're going?
To keep the balance, ensure that the power does not go too far left or right.
I'm really not concerned about the balance being too far left or right. I want the balance in my favor.
Your efforts will go as they will, but I will ensure that the balance does not keep too far left or right.
We'll see. Just stay out of my way.
Oh, Orgy. The one-trick pony, I see. Well, if you all are ready, shall we be embarking on our journey here today?
Oh, I suppose.
I believe Artist still has a training session to do.
Yeah, I still gotta
We're
train someone.
still sitting up. Like, we're up in the stands. Like
The
I still have the
barmaid,
bow
like,
pointed
watched
down
the
there.
whole
Like
thing, and she's just like, Master Artist?
He turns around. What was the bard's maid's name? I didn't
don't
take
know if
that
you
one
have
down.
her
I don't think. I
Yeah.
don't think she.
We
Yeah,
didn't
she
know
didn't
it.
give it. You didn't ask. You were just like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
but she didn't
train
give.
you, random citizen."
It is my
her name's
civic duty.
Mika.
Mika. Yes, Mika. Is something the matter? She's like all pale and sweaty.
I was coming here for our training session, but if you're busy, we could reschedule.
I think that would be best for the time being. Whenever I'm in town next, we will definitely go over some of the basics of magic.
Yes, well, thank you. And she just like takes a couple of steps back. Owen like looks over at her and then looks over at you. If you are done, we can be on our way. And he like waves his hand and like a shimmer of energy consumes Orgy, and you get the effects of a long rest essentially.
Argo looks over at Fang and goes, "Well, I guess we're only getting one show this morning."
Yeah, but honestly, I think that was.
How close do you had it
enough.
there, Stackhouse?
Huh? Were you like,
said,
oh, I needed like a couple of more rounds. I shouldn't have wasted that compelled duel.
You shouldn't have.
I
That was a
shoulda
dumb
healed
move.
myself twice. Now you know, Mio. Now you know.
Wait a minute. Didn't you say you had smite, by the way?
Yeah, but I didn't want to use my spell slots because he doesn't have that many.
Yeah, but you would still just smite like a son of a bitch, and then after that, then you just go warlock with it.
Again, Mio has no training. Like, I don't think how you understand.
Blame this on Mio. Real
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Real
totally.
nice.
I haven't had
doesn't
this character sheet
understand.
for like the entire camp. Anyways,
I love how it's like if we do anything weird, it's like, oh, he fucks something up.
No,
My
Mio.
character,
First of
my
all,
character
Mr.
would have done
Fang
this.
only attacks people that he knows he can defeat. Anyways,
that are expendable, I think is the actual term you should have been using there.
what Orgy's been expendable the entire time.
Orgy
has
has not been expendable. He's literally been one of the people that I was told, hey, if we're gonna do this, we kind of need this guy because he kind of has access to an army. So it's like, okay, I could use an army for this. Meanwhile, we got a guy who's got a sword that kind of works. Yeah, Artist, I'm sorry, you were expendable for all of season 1.
Okay.
And even a
so
little bit in the first episode of season 2 before I knew your sword actually could bring a dragon from the past.
Owen
still
like
really
walks
strange.
over to Orgy and then like stares you down, Artist. Well, are you coming?
Obviously, I'm coming. I rescheduled my training session. Now let's go.
Yes, well, stand over here.
She looked like she was going to learn so much.
Artist walks over to the spot.
Don't hold your breath. And you watch as he waves his hand and like various arcane symbols, some familiar to you artists, start to appear and then rapidly start to spin at different degrees. And essentially, you all are teleported out of that area and vanish.
Wild.
The rest of you watch as Artis, Orgy, Oam, and Sulk all vanish, and they're no longer in that training ground area. For you guys, you all appeared next, kind of hovered above Vermont, sort of the mountains to the west of it a bit. You all appear in the air, and as you're falling down, Olam casts Featherfall, and you safely land to the touch.
Well, I see you and Mio are both full of tricks.
Yes, my tricks are much different than Mio's. Are you all ready? Because once we infiltrate Vermont, we are going to make a lot of friends.
Well, just ask Mio. I think you know that I'm ready.
I was more talking to. And he kind of like looks over at Artis.
Artis cocked his head. I'm more than ready. And like he's already got like flames flickering in his right hand.
Very well. Perhaps you can take us the rest of the way.
I shove him forward. Yeah. Why don't you lead point?
I believe a bit more tactfully, and he like motions at your sword.
My sword, or
Yeah, Artis' sword.
Artis pulls it out and teleports everyone into Vermont.
Okay. And as you all are standing atop this snowy mountain, well, not snowy. Mountain. You all vanish in a arcane mist, if you will. Meanwhile, back at Tahale, we'll pick up with Orgy and Artis later here this month. Fang, Dargo, and the rest of you kind of like realize that the others aren't coming back anytime soon.
We watched one guy turn into a different guy, take a couple steps forward, and then teleport. Like,
make a perception check, you three.
14.
Okay.
9.
Dargo. You notice a man, very well armored, kind of like walk up to this training ground area. He's not humanoid. Well, he's humanoid in appearance, but he's not a human. He is a Leonin. His armor's very elegant and kind of reeks nobility. He looks at you. Yes, you all must be the ones that I am escorting to Fort Demon Creek. Am I right? Fang Dargo? Allow me to introduce myself. I am Prince Daira Athon Starfield, at your service.
Good lord, was that a fucking name? What? Prince,
Right about
what? Can you do me a favor? Do me a favor, Frenchie. Take the peanut butter out your mouth and then try that one again.
I am Prince.
You can call me
like
Prince Daira. D-Y-R-E.
I was trying to get his whole name there. I wasn't trying to.
Oh. Athon, A-T-H-O-N, Starfield, like star and field are one word.
Dire Athon Starfield.
Mm-hmm.
Prince.
Yes.
Dire Athon Starfield. Got it. Fang takes a deep breath. It is a pleasure, Prince Dire. Would I know this guy at all? Would I recognize him?
Not unless you spend some time in Scion City in the past decade.
Well, like, would I recognize the name?
Do a history check.
I doing as well?
Yeah.
14.
His
12.
name's come up before, just through meetings and things of that nature. You haven't met him personally, but you know
I
that
recognize
he
the
is
name, but I
from-
don't really know why.
Yeah, he's just from like
yeah, he's-
royal Scion heritage.
I saw his name on a paper a few times. It's like, checks out. All right. Well, yes, I do believe we are going to be heading out. How are we getting there?
And he kind of looks at you calmly. Well, the same way I got here, silly. And he like flings his arm, and this magical portal, in essence, appears outside of these training grounds. After you two.
Fang pauses a moment. It's nothing against you. Portals have been kind of hit or miss for me in my life, but sure. And Fang walks through the portal. Like, sword at the ready, walks through the portal like this.
As you're doing this, he says, "Don't worry, Fang. I'll protect you." And he almost has like a image. You get like a faint image of Heart in that moment of just like this paladin, just like, I am here to protect you.
Just
right
like I
walk.
love it. It's like almost calming, but also super annoying. I don't know why everyone thinks that I need protecting. I don't understand why this is
The almost dying part. That's probably like their go-to kitsch.
Dargo falls behind, raises an eyebrow at him, and goes, "Yeah, that's my job, anyways."
Seems I have
my boyfriend.
then.
Get your own boyfriend.
And he follows you into the portal, and it just closes. You all are surrounded by arcane light, kind of like speeding towards you. Anything you try to focus is like coming in and out of focus way too quickly. Before light appears at the end of the tunnel, essentially, and you are all thrusted into this other area completely. This one's covered in snow. You find yourselves at the base of this mountain crest. You can see off in the distance kind of Fort Demon Creek just there meticulously. And as you look into the sky, you see various Triperian airships kind of like making their way towards this creek. Shall we go?
How many ships do I see?
Do a perception check.
$18.
Okay, you see at least 5. And you
5
watch
airships.
as Prince Dyer just kind of like starts walking towards it, like, let's go.
Fang is just once again like, he's like, this is not how we do things. Oh, so much for covert. Not really looking like we're going to be able to sneak up behind them, is it, doggo?
Almost never that easy.
Sheaths the sword and then begins walking through the snow. God, this is gonna be a thing. This is gonna be a fucking thing.
And finally, meanwhile, back at Zoter's, I guess, gathering hall, Maka is summoned, and he comes to you, and he's like, Maka, my dear, it would seem we've run into a hiccup. The Spider Queen is making her assault. Do you feel that you are ready to take her down now? Oh, her sound's breaking up. Oh, yep, it's gone. Is that you agree?
I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, sorry. He's asking you, are you ready to take on the Spider Queen? Because it looks like she's about to make her assault.
Right, giant spider lady, of course.
Sweet. And as you say this, you watch as Iriku comes out of like his ethereal plane and like stands next to you at the ready. And he like flicks his finger, Zotair does, and various guards come all armed and stuff ready to assist you as you go down to take this Spider Queen essentially out of her existence. And on that note, we are going to call it a day. But
Yep.
catch us next Saturday. Where did we figure out if we're doing? Are we doing yours
Yes.
first, Fang?
Yes.
Okay, we're doing. So it's gonna be 3 different episodes. First will be Fang, Dargo, and Prince Dyer trying to take down Fort
Frenchie.
Demon Creek. Frenchie, and then
We have
week
the
after
French
that
cat.
will be Orgy, Artis, and the others, Olem and Sulk, trying to stop the attack on Bermond. And then finally, the final week will be Maka plus assistance taking down this Spider Queen. So lots of action, lots of moving pieces, lots of things happening at the same time. But yeah, thank you everybody for stopping by, and we will catch you all on the flip side. Now, if there is only someone I can raid, that would be the bee's knees. Let me rephrase. Someone that I know. There's somebody playing Dungeons and Dragons, right? The Games Tavern. Okay, we'll go to them because I have not raided them yet. The Games Tavern. Come by, stop, say hi, see how they're doing, and tell them how you all enjoyed today's sesh. We will catch you all next time. Bye-bye. Have a good time. See you later.
All right, Will's out of here.
Kevin's like,
Will's gone immediately. Like, I'm out.
oh yeah, it's fine.